Louis C.K. has been testing the limits of comedy, but he's also been pushing the limits of technology, and specifically in distribution. And he has done some really landmark things, including distribute his own special from his website without the middleman, which made fans happy and made his wallet also happy. But he also did another experiment recently, which was pretty interesting. He quietly released Horace and Pete, which was his show with Steve Buscemi and a few other actors. And he didn't advertise it anywhere, and it was available on his site. You could pay $2 to $5 for an episode, $31 for the whole season. And it was fascinating to see how this experiment went. It did not go so well from at least a monetization standpoint. Louis did say that he lost millions of dollars on the project and that he would be canceling Horace and Pete for the future.
So until I had to do the story today, I'd never heard of Horace and Pete. So I guess that's how well the marketing push on that's gone.
Well, he didn't market it.
I know, but how do you expect to make money back without marketing something? Just because you're Louis C.K.?
The last time he did it, it did go well, to be fair. But it was, again, a comedy special, not a full,
web series,
cameras, sitcom with other actors to be paid and sets.
Exactly. It was just him, a single, maybe multi-camera setup of him talking. You didn't have to pay other people. You didn't have to pay production. You didn't have to pay talent. In a product like this, I guess his hope was that maybe someone would pick it up and it would go viral and that it would, sweep the internet by storms. But you need to put some marketing down. You have to get the word out there. Maybe
I don't really view this as a failure. I mean, it's a big loss of money, but I think when testing what audiences will do, how you can distribute things, how you can break the current model of having to go through a network and a middleman, and another middleman, and an agent and a manager, it's cool that he did this. And I don't think Louis will have trouble making back the money.
No, I respect that he did this, but also when you say that you're broke, that's a financial failure. It might be like a cool, I did this, cool, I made this, and that's great that he was able to do this. And I actually now want to go back and because anything Steve Buscemi is involved in, I have to go see. So I would like to see this from a how high of a quality production can we get a web series with known talent and a passion project behind them, because I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of web series. So I'd like to see this. But, I question what was his thinking by not putting at least,
I think he was just testing his limits and seeing how far he could take this or how far audiences would go to consume it. And it did show, I mean, what's been odd is that recently he has been on a bit of a promotional blitz trying to wait on the fan base, and then he made the announcement that it would be canceled after one season and it's not going well. I think Louis is in a very unique position, which is that this won't ruin his life.
No.
He still has a huge fan base. He pumps out those specials. He has Louis.
Yeah.
So he could be, I mean, it said that he wanted to work on another series for a different network. I'm sure he could if he wanted to.
And maybe that just speaks volumes of sitcoms these days. I can't think, outside of It's Always Sunny, I can't think of a sitcom that I sit and watch anymore in that traditional sense,
I watch Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh,
I've heard. Not really a sitcom.
Yeah, I mean,
it's released all at once. It's on the Netflix.
Yeah, well, still, I mean, but I watch, I watch Archer, which I guess is technically an animated sitcom, but most of my shows are Blacklist or Better Call Saul and The Americans and Game of Thrones.
I watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah, so I don't watch a lot of. Yeah, I'm so sorry. You only do that because you have to.
No, I don't have to. It was my idea to start that show. But I stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead because I'm so displeased with how it's going.
But I just wonder how well sitcoms do in a, maybe they do better on a network television where you have a more captive audience versus the web world where you have to go out and seek it. It's an interesting.
Well, then it's also the model of pay for it all, or on demand, or do you go to YouTube and watch a few ads, or do you release it on Hulu, Netflix, Prime?
Exactly. No, it's interesting to look at from that point of view. I mean, would this have done better if it was on an Amazon or Hulu or Netflix or even YouTube?
I'd say probably. Yeah. But it was, I mean, I commend him for trying, for doing an experiment, for taking a risk, which so rarely happens, especially I mean, beyond an editorial point of
Of
view,
course.
which is, how do I distribute? How do I work the industry that's already set in its way? I commend him for it.
No, and I agree. And as media continues to evolve, because the way we look at television is changing. It's not just sitting in front of the TV and turning on channel 4 or channel 424. We are constantly looking towards digital and online for new ways to consume television. And I think, anyone who's trying to break the mold and try something different, I think it is worth giving them a shout out and props. So way to go, Louis C.K. I'm sorry you lost millions, and I hope you recover that soon. I'll go buy, spend $31 and watch this. So.
All right. Well, he's already made a sale
Yeah.
right there. Audience, did you watch Horace and Pete, and do you consider it a failure? That is an ironic thing to mess up on. Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.